Hey there, grade sevens. Today we are going to be talking about rotating on your Cartesian plane. So how you are actually going to go about doing this. This is probably one of the hardest uh, uh, areas that students have to understand. So I'm going to go back to this page that we have here, and we're going to use this one. So I've got this triangle, and I'm actually going to show the original polygon. So as we're rotating it all the way through, you're actually going to be able to see what's happening. So right now, we're rotating it about the origin, which is at 0, 0. So our green point on the um, of our triangle, you can actually see is at 0, 0. So that's not going to change. If you're rotating something, the center of that rotation is not actually going to be moving. However, what we do have is we have our blue and our yellow points that will be moving. So on this, it actually just shows what the degrees are. They automatically rotate clockwise, counterclockwise. If you want them to rotate counterclockwise, I would just put the inverse. So instead of 90 degrees, I'd put 270 degrees, and then it's going to rotate it clockwise. So what's happening here is when I'm looking at my point of rotation, so for right now it's at 0, 0, I'm actually going to count to see how far away my next point is. So if I'm looking at blue, I'm going to see that's 1, 2, 3, 4 points away. And if I rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, it's going to be going in this direction. Okay, this is counterclockwise. So it's going to be rotating 90 degrees. So I need to think, okay, 90 degrees is going to be down here, and I need to be 4 points away. So what a lot of people, what I used to tell my students, is that they can actually turn their paper 90 degrees to try to figure out where it is or where it might end up. On your computer screen, I guess you can do that as well. I can't really do that with this video, but what's going to be happening is you're going to go, instead of going here, now it's going to be going down because it's rotating this direction 90 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my next point for my blue is going to be 0 and -4. Then I look at my yellow. It's 4 to the left and 3 up. So if I was to rotate that paper 90 degrees, it would go 4, and then now it's going to go to the left. So 4 down and 3 to the left. So if I rotate it, it should end up down here, which is exactly where I was saying that it's going to be. So if I rotate it again, it's technically not a reflection, okay, because a reflection would be a mirror image. So this point over here would be over here if I was rotating about the y-axis, and this point would be over here. But what we're actually doing is we're rotating it one more time. So if I rotate it again, my blue point is going to be moving to here, and my yellow point is going to be moving over to here. Okay, as we can see that that's happened. And then if I rotate it one more time, it's going to make the final point up here. So this will be my blue, and then my yellow is going to be over here. Okay, and then one more rotation, and it brings us back to our original point. So as you can see, if we just rotated our page, it would kind of look the same over and over again. Now, if I have this same point, okay, or the same shape, but I'm going to rotate it at a different center of rotation. So let's say we're going to rotate it around 2 and 2. So my center of rotation is now going to be over here. So when I'm actually doing this rotation, I'm imagining that my new x and y axis, if that makes more sense, this is my new kind of point of origin, for lack of a better word. So when I'm starting here, I need to count, okay, how far away is the green? Well, it's 2 down and 2 to the left. Okay, so if I'm rotating it 90 degrees, my shape should be somewhere down here. So it's going to be 2 to the right and 2 down. So that's where my new green point is going to be. If I'm looking at my blue, I'm going to start here. So 2 down and 6 to the left. So now I'm going to go 2 to the right and 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my new point is going to be at 4, -4. And then my yellow if I'm starting here, is actually 1 up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm actually going to go 1 to the left and 6 down. So it'll be at 1 and -4. So when I rotate it, that's where my shapes end up being. So it's a little bit different when you don't actually have that center of rotation being at the origin of your Cartesian plane. And this exact point is where a lot of people seem to struggle the most. So if I continue to rotate it, so if I'm still rotating it at about here, my next one is going to be 2 and 2. This is where my green's going to end up. And then if I wanted, I could, visualize it turning, and then I can count, okay, well, I know my green, from my green to my blue, so my blue is going to be 4 over, so it's going to be somewhere around here, and then my yellow is going to be down somewhere around there, and then that's what we end up getting. And I can do the same thing for the last one. So from 2, 2, my green point's going to be here, and then I go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and it'll rotate that way. Okay, so once again, I'm going to link this page to let you guys kind of play around with it. I want you to try to predict where you think they're going to go up. If you want to do a square, if you want to do a parallelogram or a triangle, whichever is easier for you. If you keep clicking on them, it'll give you a new shape in a different location. So if I want to do a change, for example, if I want to do a rotation of 100 degrees, or sorry, not 180 degrees, okay, and then I rotate it, it's going to go from here all the way to over here, but it's not a reflection, as you'll be able to see. All right. So when we're doing rotations, we're only going to do 90 degree, 180 degree, or 270 degree. So if I was to do a 270 degree rotation, that's essentially going to bring it back up here. Okay, so we're doing like a 90 degree counterclockwise. I wonder if I put a negative in, if that's going to do anything. If that's going to go, yeah. So if I put a negative in, then it goes clockwise. Or sorry, if I go negative 90, that'll rotate it clockwise. Okay, so then it'll come back up to where it was, and then back to the start. So you can play around with this just to try to figure out exactly what's going on. And let me know if you have any questions. Make sure that you do the Google form. You do the Math Makes Sense. And the best way to actually practice this stuff is to draw it out. So if you have graph paper, try drawing it out, try practicing understanding what is actually going on. If you have questions, you can send me a Google Hangout, or just bring them to our Zoom sessions. All right, have a great day.